So, as an autistic person, I spend a lot of time people watching, right? I notice their patterns, I notice things they probably don't notice about themselves. One thing that I noticed recently about one of my friends who is hypermobile, but I don't know if they know it. Um, One of my friends who I think also has autism, but I don't think that they know it. Um, but they tend to stand with their knees locked. And it got me thinking because I spent a lot of time myself with my knees locked, especially when I was younger. Um, I was in I was in dance class as a child, and a lot of times they would want you to have completely straight legs, and to me, like, perfect straight back and spine. So to me, I would do everything I could to flex every muscle I could, to contract every muscle in my body to make that happen, right? So I would end up standing like this, right? So like my knees here are completely locked. They're forcing my whole weight to shift forward. So I would stand like this, thinking that is perfectly straight because I have no part of my body, literally, that isn't being flexed, right? Like at that point, I'm so flexed that my body is completely out of alignment. My ears are way above my toes. My knees are like pushing everything forward. My toes are digging into the ground when I stand like this. So if your shoes tend to wear out on the big toe, check your posture. So try to get out of that bad habit. So for me, if I notice myself standing in that awkward, stick up your ass thing posture that I had there, I tend to, so I'll shake it out, literally just kind of moving all of the joints that were previously trying to stay stiff. And then I try to focus on shifting the hips back just slightly, bending the knees just slightly. The reason we do this is for the pelvis to tilt to be a neutral pelvis, right? We don't want it like this, where it's tilting forward, where it's like the lower stomach is about to spill out in front of you, right? We want the lower stomach to be equal with the rest of our torso. We want our ribs. So when we're in that anterior pelvic tilt, our ribs will stick out like this, right? They call that a rib flare. Bring it back. You don't need to be like this where you're hunched over. We're aiming for neutral. You can see my hips are now stacked above my ankles, right? Above my knees, but not like completely shifted, right? You can see how that makes a difference in the way that everything stacks, the way that everything lands posturally. But when you don't know what you don't know, you can't fix it, right? Um, I hope that you take the time to look at how you stand, to think about maybe some of the things, some of the patterns that you've learned, some of the different ways that you've tried to overcompensate in some way, and just be more gentle with yourself. Even if you mess something up, I mean, there's always another chance to try again. Until next time, take care.